Okay, I'm going to show you how I letter a comic book page. And this is how I letter. There might be faster, better ways, but this is the way I do it. I also know that inking and the writing portion, the creating of the comic is my main thing, and lettering is what I do. I've never done it professionally. Let's just put it that way. So forgive if there's a few things, but my main goal is to make sure that it reads the reader can follow the flow of the panel to panel and the page, and the lettering does not get in the way. I think that's probably the main thing about lettering, is that it doesn't get in the way of the art telling the story along with the words. Let's just do this, and I will walk you through it. So if you don't have your text tool, you could hit T on the keyboard or come over here. That brings up text, and you get over here, you get balloons, word balloons, and whatnot. But up on top, there should be a text. And if you're going to use a font for dialogue for the entire issue, or if it's like the font you have that you want to use for all your books, you can make like a preset, I guess. So you can just go up on text and hit this, and it'll make a copy of the one you have highlighted, which is text. I use Blambot for my fonts. They have an amazing selection. There's a lot of good free ones, and for indie creators, all you have to do is just say in the credits of your book, fonts by Blambot. That's all that he requires, which is just really great. So I got the name, dialogue text. That's good. Well, I like to change it to dialogue font. Okay, and then it appears down on the bottom. And then up in here, it's got the name, dialogue font, and it has the font. So this is where you'll select the font that you want to use for dialogue all the time. So I'm going to use, it's already selected, Plot Holes. That's another font that I downloaded from Blambot, and I'm using that for this mini-series crossover. I'm going to go off screen, copy the text, click anywhere on the canvas, and paste. And that's my dialogue. And click that button to save it too. Now, if I go to my wrench with that layer selected, and you come down to line and spacing, and you make sure that all these are checked with little eyes. What that does is that makes it visible in the tool property palette. So right now, here's wrap text to frame. If I click this, it goes away. I click it back on, and all these, because I'm going to want those, they come back in. So you can close your tool, subtool, with the text selected. You can click wrap, and I have it position in frame. I have it centered. Justified, I'm going to do centered, and make sure that alignment is centered. And then as I stretch it, it automatically adjusts it. You'll notice that if I click here to add it and I paste, over in the palette, in the layers palette, it created a new layer, but I would like it in the same layer with all the dialogue in the same layer. So I will show you how to fix that if that pops up for you. The little wrench here, and I get this. Find Edit Settings. Go to How to Add. Create New Layer. There's a drop down right here. Add to selected text. Okay, close that. Now, every time with this layer selected, I will now add the text, and it creates this box, which means it's one layer. And now paste. And you'll see that it did not make a new layer. It went into the one I had selected. Operation, which is also O on the keyboard. And then you can select each individual one because it's on the same layer, which is really cool. So I'll move that. Let me think. I'm going to back out so I can get a better view of how this page will look. Because I want it to go this way, and then your eyes go down here. Now there is a caption in this frame, in this panel, so I'll probably put it here to go this way and down. So maybe if I see, I don't want to cover the runes over here. I think I'm going to go like this. I think that's good. And then for the panel down here, that line says, since I have that selected, I'm going to keep it like that and just move it off a little bit again. Okay, there. I've got the dialogue, my dialogue in position. I like it. Here's something that I didn't mention before, but with your caption box selected, you can hit the wrench. So you have all these options in here. You can change the brush size. Like I said earlier, 14 is what I've decided on for this book. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out because there's a lot of really cool features you can have in here. You can even change the stroke to actually do quite a bit of stuff. You can even spray it, which looks kind of like. So with that selected, I am going to put my caption box what I think is the center. Okay, so I just found out that with all the settings I showed earlier, there is a way to center it as you're typing. This is interesting. So you take, what's important is that you put your caption or your word balloons first. You can size them and move them around later, but let's just do a quick example with a caption. I'll just make a caption box. Then I will go and grab the font that I have, make sure that the text wrapping is available, and you click right inside and it makes the box. And it'll be justified, centered to your caption box. I have a large amount of text selected, so let's just paste that in there. Select this, size that, and then size. And there you go. It stays centered. I'm not a fan of Clip Studio Paint's dialogue balloon. I don't like it because it's straight oval or ellipse or a circle or however you want to draw it. But what I did was I made one the way I like it. I dropped a balloon like this and then I adjusted it and I liked it. And then I went to material and I dragged it into balloon material under all material, under manga material balloon, and I made this. And what happens is if you take this and drag it onto your canvas, it's going to be kind of large. You can shrink it down to where I need it. Now in this caption down here, he's whispering. Now you'll notice, like Vector, it has these dots, so you could click on it and move that. That was how I took a regular balloon from Clip Studio Paint and adjusted it the way I like it. So you see, its size is not 14, so I'm going to have to change that. Let me see. What other controls? Since it's a whisper, I tend to use the old school where it's like a dotted line. So then I go to here, brush shape, and I go dash line there. I may need to increase the size just so that that pops up a little bit. That looks better. I need to resize that. Okay, let's get the dialogue for that last bit that he's whispering. And make sure that it is set to that new font that I'm always using. And it is already set to wrap text. I think I might change that size because he's whispering. By doing that, it's self-justified. I don't like that, so I'm going to change it like the box. If you hold your Alt or Option key, it brings in both sides at the same time. Same thing with the top. I like that. All right, now let's add a tail to that. And they have some really great options in here. Balloon tail. So you click it here, and if you do it again and again, you can keep doing that. I don't want that. I just want one straight one. So there, and then hit return. And because it's on that same layer with that dialog balloon that has the dotted line, it also takes the dotted line. And then you can take your operation tool and grab it, shrink it, move it around a bit. Now, this works even if you don't have the dotted lines, it'll just work. And then with this whole thing is now selected, I can actually bring it in a little bit. Oops. I kind of wanted it breaking the border. There we go. And I believe that is all the dialogue. Again, this is how I do it, and hopefully you got something from it. Sometimes I'm not aware of some of the new updates that they put in for these sort of technical things. I just kind of learn as I go, and I'm just sharing with how I do it. Again, thank you much for watching. Please, to the end. Thanks for watching to the end. And please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you in another video. This page is from a crossover mini-series that Bob Hickey and myself are doing with our characters. Mine, obviously, Freaks and Gods, and his, in this case, Blood and Roses, the whole Skystorm universe, actually. And this is a 12-page prequel that is the origin of the main villain. By the way, the penciler's name is Jose Miguel. If I mispronounce that, I'm sorry, Jose. Let me know. He's doing a fantastic job. I'm just really looking forward to getting in and inking these. But I always like to letter a page first. I think it goes back to the old school way when I would get stuff traditionally back when I first started working in comics. They would send you a lettered, bordered, and lettered page. You could ink around that.